So I was gonna do this Q&A today as a mukbang, but I'm having leftovers today.
Thank you Grub Gang, for your continued financial support for this channel, and also for supporting the entire Note Again family. It is greatly appreciated.
Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for notification.
We decided to go back and redo our very first videos because they were pretty crappy, and not up to the way we do them now. When you get a chance, let us know in the comment section below what you think of it. There will be a link to the original video in the description, so you have something to compare it against. In any relationship, it's tough when people change. You'll hear a lot of it is BB, yet Chantel needs to acknowledge that she has changed dramatically.
So I was gonna do this Q&A today as a mukbang, but I'm having leftovers today, so that's all I'm having.
Leftovers are not a bad thing. There is nothing written in stone saying you have to eat everything in one sitting.
Is leftovers. So I'm gonna read the questions. Some of them I'm just not gonna answer because they're just too personal, and that's fine. You have the right to ask them.
Interesting, how private you were just 22 months ago when you put this video up. Now, you hold nothing back, you spill the tea on everything.
But I also have the right not to answer certain ones, right? But
come on, you can tell us everything, after all.
But I will try to be as open as I feel comfortable, and we'll go from there. So, all right. But just based on a lot of the questions, it's obvious people don't really have a really good understanding of what our relationship was like.
We know BB got the short end of the stick.
I did try to keep it private, so there is that, but I think this Q&A will help clear up some things, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. So here we go. All right, first question. Did BB start feeling like he was becoming your caretaker? I don't really understand what you mean by caretaker, to be honest. Like, do you mean somebody who showers, like on My 600-Pound Life, like brings you food, showers? If you mean like you're envisioning me like just sitting there on the couch, you know, just like bring me food, clean my butt or stuff like that, no, that's not how our relationship was at all.
In your case, caregiver would be BB covering most of the expenses.
The only time he really took care of me was like pretty much like after my surgery, I guess. I would say I do like most of the cleaning, 95% of the time. And no, it's not always up to par, but you know what? If he had a problem with it, he just had to pick up a broom.
BB works, you don't. So if he cleans up his own mess, that means 95% is your mess to clean.
But no, I mean, I cooked, I'd say 95% of the time. Or, yeah, I mean, I don't really know what you mean by that. Like, I shower myself, obviously. I'm not, that big that I can't do those things for myself anymore, so I don't have a caretaker except for myself. I'm not going to answer the questions about weight loss because this is about breakup Q&A. How did he feel about your eating habits? Did he ever comment on them? So, no, he never really comments on them. He just kind of like never says anything like about that. So no, he never made a comment about my eating habits, pretty much ever, like, you know. So the answer to that is no, he never did.
Well, he either didn't comment because he truly didn't care, or he is a feeder, or he didn't want to put up with shit from you.
What you have to keep in mind for this Q&A is that BB is a very closed book, and he doesn't open up, like, even to me, and that is a big part of why we are breaking up, because for me, like, not just for me, but in a relationship, if you don't have communication, you can't fix anything.
How's that communication thing working for you with your current relationship with Nadar?
And he's a very closed off person, and he doesn't like opening up and talking about how he's feeling or trying to fix things in a relationship. So I can't, you know, we can't make it work if we can't talk about our feelings.
I am of the belief that your breakup with BB had nothing to do with his lack of communication, and everything to do with you.
So if he was concerned about my eating habits, which maybe he was. I'm sure he was, especially finding pizza boxes and things like that. But he never really expressed that. So
I bet BB just didn't want to put up with Tornado Chantel.
okay, this one is two parts. One, what was the reason for the breakup? So there was a multitude of reasons. Increasingly, our relationship became more and more distant, and that's he, like I just said in the previous answer, he's very distant. He's very closed off. I've approached him many times, kind of giving him an ultimatum, and he doesn't like ultimatums, but I was like, we need to talk and work this out, and things need to change in our relationship. Like, we need to do more things together.
We are getting the impression the breakup is going to be all BB's fault, and nothing you did. After all, nothing is ever your fault, is it?
I'd be like, let's go on a date or something, let's go out somewhere, and he would always not want to. He always just wants to stay inside and plays video games. That's like the only thing he likes to do.
Kind of like how you like doing mukbangs, and doing them multiple times in a day for YouTube.
Which is fine. I mean, I'm not gonna like shame him for what he likes to do, but at the same time, it's not compatible with what my idea of a loving relationship is.
If BB wasn't fitting into what you thought a loving relationship was, my question to you would be, do you have that now with Nadar?
Another thing that really just like, the thing that topped it all off was me not being able to have kids. When we first got together, we never really had a discussion about kids, which we should have. And now, learning from that mistake, if I ever get in another relationship again, which I say I won't, but I probably will at some point, we're going to have that mature discussion before just jumping into things.
I don't remember seeing a video of late where she had mentioned talking about children with Nadar. Do any of you watching know if she had that discussion with him?
Because from the get-go, if you really examine who BB and I are as people, we're not compatible. And during that honeymoon phase, when you're just like love is blind and you're so in love, that doesn't matter. But then after that wears off, like it has been, and things become, it's more practical for us to be apart because we're not compatible as people. So there's a mixture of things. The breakup wasn't, it wasn't malicious, or there wasn't any bad feelings towards one another. It's just what it is. Like him wanting his own biological kids and me not wanting kids.
So, because you didn't talk about wanting kids, it's over. Whose fault is it that you didn't talk about it before hooking up? That's right. It's BB's fault.
I can't have kids, but even then I probably would say 98% I don't want them. That's a big difference. It's a conflict of interest, so.
Maybe down deep inside, you would make a crappy mother. You show how crappy you would be every day, by the way you take care of your fur babies.
Number 2, did you and BB break up before New Year's? I know you and Pete have a good friendship, but it's not normal for a boyfriend to accept their girlfriend staying in the same hotel room with their ex. Okay, so what is acceptable to someone is, just because you don't think it's acceptable doesn't mean it's not acceptable to someone else. There's like billions of people in the world and everyone has different opinions, etc. Okay, so BB is used to me hanging out with Pete, and I explained to him that this is just for, like, we each had our own beds. This is for, like, let's say Pete and I travel around and do videos together. We're going to be staying in the same hotel room together because we have to,
No, you don't. So don't lie.
There was nothing romantic. I know you guys don't believe me, but I have zero romantic feelings towards Pete anymore. It's just that ship has sailed. It's not ever going to come back into the harbor, whatever analogy you want to use.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No, it's just not going to happen. And if he had a problem with it, again, he didn't open up and say he did, so how am I supposed to know? I'm not a mind reader, right?
Bet your relationship with Pete was the last straw. Instead of fighting about it, BB did the right thing, breaking up with your ass. Less painful than arguing about something you wouldn't stop doing.
So, yeah, it's Pete's and I's situation is not just like a normal ex situation. Right from the get-go, I explained to BB that he's always going to be in my life. He's a really good friend. And if he didn't accept that, I probably wouldn't have even gotten in a relationship with him. I don't like men telling me who I can and can't be friends with. And if he had any qualms with that, he should have taken it up at the beginning of our relationship. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not really much I can do about that.
So, To get in a relationship with you, your man has to accept that former exes will always be in your life, and going on trips, and sharing a hotel room is something they would just have to deal with. Have we got that right, Chantel?
So the hotel room, you're thinking of it like as a romantic situation with a guy and a girl. No, it's not. It wasn't like that at all. So yeah, I know people like to make it seem like that for like drama or whatever, but there was absolutely nothing going on except farting and sleeping.
Well, Pete's is a feeder and she's an eater. Pete's gets off getting her food and Chantel gets off with everything that passes down her throat. A match made in heaven.
I've heard some talk saying that when you say BB's sister, it's not really his sister. It's actually his girlfriend or wife. I know it sounds stupid as all hell, but that rumor needs to be laid to rest. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, it's just really stupid. Why would I allow his girlfriend or wife to... First of all, that's kind of like ignorant for people to assume just because he's from Africa that he's got like a secret wife somewhere, you know? And number two, I would never allow my man to be with another woman. There's just no way.
But you expect your man to allow you to be with another man?
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't think so. So no, it's his sister. But honestly, if people want to believe it's his girlfriend, I really don't care, you know? Like, whatever. Okay, did BB steer away from intimacy with you due to you being overweight? I have that issue now in my relationship. I don't think BB steered away from it. Like, when I met him, I was like in the 330s, and I know that because I had been weighed not long before meeting him at a doctor's appointment. And so I was pretty big, and I was always self-conscious of it, and he always made me feel so comfortable, and you know what I mean? We found ways, because being big and doing certain like positions and things like that can be awkward, and but we managed to make it work well. And I just think that lately I just haven't really honestly been in the mood for anything intimate.
Just in the mood for takeout.
Mostly because of my health. And although I do have those feelings, like, you know, like, I guess sexual feelings, just not like engaging them with him because...
Easier to engage with a pizza, because it doesn't talk back.
Of how distant we've grown, and I just don't feel that way about him anymore, and I think maybe he feels the same. So it is possible that my health put a wedge in everything, but I don't know, maybe, because like I was big whenever he met me, so I don't see why he would just all of a sudden not be attracted because of my weight.
Have you looked in the mirror lately? Like seriously, go take your clothes off and stand in front of the mirror, and ask yourself what's not hot and tasty here. And be honest, because that's the first step to making a serious change in your life.
I have asked him that in the past, and he says no, but I mean, he could be lying, right? You don't truly know how someone feels, so, but on my part, it has, my health has, I don't know if it's just weight, but has a part to do with it, for sure. And, so yeah, so there you go.
Sometimes outer beauty has no bearing on attracting someone. More often it's the inner beauty which some people, like yourself, lack.
Had BB ever cheated on you? By cheating, I mean anything from talking to another girl in a flirty way, or had slept with someone or kissed someone else. As far as I know, no, and he says no. He's a very trustworthy person. Like, if you guys knew who BB was, he doesn't lie. And he's very honest. He's a very honest person. And I would say no. If he did, I don't know about it, and honestly, I'm okay with that. Not knowing, you know, like, if he did, whatever. But not that I know of. But I mean, it's so possible today with like technology to just like anybody can talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So
wait a minute, you're okay with that? Didn't you say something different, like what you expect from your man?
I would never allow my man to be with another woman. There's just no way. Yeah. But I really don't think like I like being fully intimate with somebody. I don't think so. Why do you still sleep in the same bed? You have a spare room and a couch. I just find it weird that you share the bed. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, a lot of people find it weird, and I find not much has really changed. We broke up, but I think that since we've already been technically emotionally broken up for a while, that not much has changed. I think we just sleep in the same bed. It's a huge king size bed. I don't even really feel him there.
You're telling us when you get in bed, he doesn't roll to your side?
We don't really mind sleeping in it together. It's not, I don't know. It might be becoming a little bit increasingly awkward, and I'm hoping that, you know, this month does go by quickly, to be honest, because I just want to move on. But it's not really, I don't know. It's just like the bed for us, again, it's not like it's not a place of intimacy anymore. So it's just like, we just sleep there, and it's my bed. It's comfortable. You know, I don't want to sleep in another bedroom. So that's why we sleep together. Has BB been talking to different females since the breakup? He says no. Like, I asked him if sorry, my hair's distracting me, if he's found somebody else, and he says nope. But, I don't know. Like, you know, like, we don't really truly ever know somebody. Like, I trust him, but he could be talking to somebody for all I know. And really, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that, right?
Would you expect him to tell you?
Did or do you guys argue about YouTube? No, YouTube, we've like probably never, maybe talked about YouTube once. And he gave me like a little bit of advice on how to deal with haters, and that was it. I don't know. We don't talk about YouTube. Like, when I log off of YouTube, I don't talk about YouTube, really. I just live my life, honestly. There's like, I have a life that you guys totally don't even really, you know about. I was thinking about that too. Like, my whole foodie beauty is kind of a persona I put on. But I don't do it purposely. You know what I'm saying? And off camera, I'm kind of a different person. But I don't do it purposely. It's just something that happens. And I've noticed that when I was talking to my therapist. So
you don't purposely buy food and eat in front of a camera and post to YouTube and make money from it?
Yeah. But no, we don't ever talk about YouTube, honestly. So, I mean, it could be affecting him in a way. I don't know. He doesn't open up. So now that you're separating, do you feel like you had convinced yourself to settle and stay with your ex? I just never saw a spark there. Do you mean a spark between BB and I, or Pete's? Because no, there's no spark with Pete's and I. The spark with BB was strongest before I even did YouTube.
So YouTube killed the spark between you and BB. Still not accepting any blame for the breakup, it's BB and YouTube.
I'm not settling to live with Pete's because I always had in my mind the past year or so, I've, you know, gotten fed up with my situation with BB and would message Pete's and be like, hey, maybe we should move together. I'm fed up with this. I need to leave, kind of thing. So, I'm not really settling to live with him. I think that for a living situation, that's the best situation for me, because I don't live easily with just anybody. Like, everybody gets on my nerves, and I don't want to ruin like friendships. But I've lived with Pete's, you know, and as roommates, and we live well together. And plus, he could be in videos too. So yeah, I think that that's the best living situation for me. I don't want to live completely alone. And so yes, and I think that's a good situation for him as well. Okay, London, you asked a bunch of questions. I feel like I answered them all pretty much. Maybe there's a couple that I didn't. Were you connected to the rest of BB's family besides his sister? Do you feel the lack of ability to travel with him to his home country and experience things with him contributed to the breakup? I don't really feel connected to his family. I think I've talked to his mom like twice. She always asks about me, which is nice. They're very polite people, but I don't even feel really close to his sister. Like, we get along, but I don't know. I don't know if there's like a bit of a language barrier there. Yeah, I'm not able to travel to Africa. Like, technically I could probably do it, like buy 2 airplane seats or whatever, but I just don't feel healthy enough to do that.
But you're healthy enough to eat double portions of poor food choices for your YouTube base.
And it's just not something, honestly, I really feel like doing right now at this point in my life. And I think that's not like, maybe it was contributing, but I don't think it really had a huge impact. But I think just me not being able to live, like, we just have really different ideas of different lifestyles, really different interests and things like that. So that definitely contributed to it, yeah. Okay, I'll answer like a couple more questions and then I'm going to leave the rest for maybe like a part 2. Did YouTube take part in your relationship not working out? So I kind of already answered that, but no, I would say no, it didn't.
Earlier you said, your relationship with BB was stronger before you started on YouTube. So which is it? Did it or didn't it? After all, you said he wouldn't do videos with you or want to be in videos, but that seems to be very important to you.
At least not that I know of. So, you know, if it bothered him that I was a YouTuber, I think he seemed very uncomfortable, especially being on camera, and I think he's a very private person. Maybe him knowing that our life would forever be public, maybe it did bother him. So, you know, but like, again, it'd be so much easier to know how he's feeling if he would just open up. But what was your biggest pet peeve that you had with him? Honestly, probably that he played so many video games and didn't give me and our relationship more attention. Just like, you know, like sometimes he'd be so invested in his game that I would like be like, Petey, like yelling for him to answer my question, and he would like take forever for him to even hear me, you know? I'm not gonna honestly miss that. So
we're pretty sure he won't miss a lot of the shit you did either.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably the biggest pet peeve. Another is that he always leaves like the juice out. Like he'll take something from the fridge and just leave it out all night, and it drives me nuts. I'm sure there's things that drive him nuts about me, but okay, last one. Is there any chance of you two getting back together? Did you break up during an argument? We didn't break up during an argument. We are, I would say, yeah, like we're not getting back together. This is final. I've accepted it.
You had no choice but to accept it.
And I'm actually excited to move on. So, and I think he might feel the same way, you know. It's too bad because he is a great person, but we're just not meant to be together. So, but no, we're not going to get back together.
Leftovers or not, you didn't think we'd leave you hanging, did you?
Grub time.
Alright guys, so that's it for this Q&A. Thank you guys for, you know, showing interest and asking these questions. I really appreciate it. If I didn't get to your question, I will try to do a part 2, and you're still free to leave any questions. It's on my community tab, and I guess that's it for now. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Thank you for watching our video. Please like and share. Take care, and we will see you all in the comments.